NFL debut throwing for 138 yards and 2 impressive touchdowns. If you ask him, though, how he would rate his performance, he wasn't too satisfied and even thinks he let his father, Dion, down.
I don't feel like, I took full advantage of the opportunity, but sorry, Pops. I ain't do what I was supposed to do fully. We'll live to see another opportunity.
His 16th year in the NFL, and that kick is good. Opportunity, Maddie, for Trubisky. As you mentioned, Sean McDermott telling us yesterday he wants to see Trubisky with the ones. Here's Laviska Shenault on the kick return, slips a tackle at the 30, and gets up across the 35-yard line.
People with a lot of kind of institutional knowledge that can help us, but the athletes have been great to get to know so far.
Yeah. On third down, Jackson Dart with a completion, and Miller picks up the first after a big hit by Andreessen, 17-yard gain.
Because the one thing I know Terry and all of us would regret, if there's someone in this building that wants to be there that doesn't have the opportunity, that would be disappointing. So we're going to spend some extra time making sure they get a chance to take another look.
Here goes Washington down the sideline. He stepped out of bounds. But a good-looking drive here for the Giants.
They've got so many guys on this roster who were homegrown here, and they're here because...
And a touchdown from Jackson Dart to little Jordan Humphrey.
Because they exceeded their expectations.
30-yard line and a touchback. It's now the 35, and instead of just the fourth quarter, when you're behind, a trailing opponent can declare an onside kick at any...
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to GHET-TO Sports, Sports Talk with Street Flavor. Yes, this week we have football all weekend. Starting from Thursday to Sunday, all 32 teams played this weekend. How did your team do? Was there some improvement? Are you still stuck in last year's rut? Or did you see, like, oh my God, that rookie, is showing me something. Oh, is that guy with our team now? What can they do for us? Did you see that this weekend? Did any of your people get hurt? There was an injury with the Falcons and Lions game. Our prayers go out to that DB for the Lions that got hit with a knee to the helmet. Our prayers go out to him. And the Lions, it was a class act that the Falcons did to not play anymore because they had the ball. They stopped, both teams that stood there, showing respect for their fallen comrade. So, big up to both teams for halting the game. Then the NFL called in from New York and said this game is over, it's suspended. So, like to big up that, But what did your team show you? Shador played Friday. And, like I said, I need him to go out there, at least score 2 touchdowns, throw for over 100 yards, and show that he had presence. And that's what he did. He came out, led them on 3 scoring drives, 3 touchdown scoring drives, and threw for 2 touchdowns. He apologized later on to his pops about he didn't show out the way he should have, but he had an outstanding game. Outstanding. Let's big up to him because, he was getting the runaround since the draft. Outstanding game. Let's see what happens in game 2 coming this weekend. Okay? What did your other rookies show you? Was they out there? Did your team win in the preseason? And it's all about that first team drive. Can your quarterback go down there and score a touchdown? Or at least put up some points? That's what you want to see. Can you put up points against this number 1 defense that's playing to get opposite of you, that's not your team anymore? Can you make the throws? Cut out the penalties and keep your team going. That's what happens. I'm going to give you an example. Joe Burrow. hit Chase for a touchdown. His lead teams to touchdowns. Daniel Jones came in early because Richardson got hurt again. Pinky got hurt again. And Daniel Jones led his team to 3 field goals. That's the difference. Leading your team to touchdowns, leading your team to field goals. Patrick got in short. I believe he's only went in there for one series, one play, because his team went down there and scored a touchdown off the turnover right away. I think sometimes your players need to score touchdowns and not field goals. Sometimes we got certain quarterbacks that just know how to get your people in scoring field goals and not the touchdowns. And that's the difference in scoring with your team. Y'all settling on these field goals and you're not making these touchdowns. And that's one of the big problems Daniel Jones has had since he's been in the league, and he's still showing that. He's scoring field goals and not touchdowns. Russell Wilson, he led his team down the field, but once again, led his team to a field goal, not a touchdown. He must get over that. He must lead his team to touchdowns. And what happened again? Penalties. Took him out of, stopped that drive that led to a field goal. They must clean up their act. Okay? Justin Fields led his team to a touchdown. Led his team to a touchdown. Down the field. He had to do it with his legs, 17 yards out, but he's that threat that shows I can do it with my arm and with my legs. I am that threat. Okay? You must keep it going. We had a couple of ties this weekend. The Raiders game was a tie. The Chicago game was a tie. Okay? Chicago didn't play their starting quarterback. Okay? Miami played their starting quarterback. He drove him downfield. They tried to go in for a touchdown, was stopped at the goal line. All 4 downs. Chicago stood up. But they was able to get down to the goal line, Miami. And they didn't have their number 1 receiver in there or running back. So we will see what happens down the line. What did your team do? Did your team show you enough in this one preseason game? We can do this. Or you like, we need some help. We need some more help. What did you get out of this? That's the question. What did your team do? Did they show you enough that you are satisfied with what they accomplished? I'm trying to say yay or nay on that. Falcon fans. The game was caught short, but did y'all see anything that y'all liked? Okay? Did y'all see anything that could make you say, okay, we all right. We all right. We're going to do this. Okay? Rams beat the Cowboys. Did y'all see anything? Remember, your quarterback is out right now. Back problems. Hasn't took a snap yet. Back problems. And speaking of back problems, Dallas number 11. Back problems. That's what he's saying right now. He wants his money. Commanders, without their number 1 guy, got blown out by New England. Gave up 48 points. They say it's just preseason, but something to think about. Like I said, Shador showed out. They're very good. But on the other hand, Bryce Young for the Panthers went down there and scored a touchdown also, showing that his team is ready. You want to see your first teamers at least put some points on the board. You'd rather a touchdown than a field goal. And if you have multiple chances, you want to get maybe a field goal and a touchdown. You can't get all touchdowns. I think Joe Burrow, when he left the game, he had 2 touchdowns. Okay? Daniel Jones had 3 field goals. That's the difference. That's the difference. We must see what's happening. You want to put points up. You want to see, okay, your rookies, your undrafted players, can they spark you? Can they make a difference? And say, I got to give this guy a chance. I got to give this guy a chance. Because we got the 53-man roster, but then you got 16 practice squad players. So that's 69 players total you're looking at. And if they don't make your team, they can make somebody else's. Or you're looking at somebody else's team like, oh, wow, I like that guy over there. Let's see what happens on the final cut. You're taking notes, writing down names. So this was week 1. We'll see what happens this weekend coming up for week 2. And you got the joint practices going on. Like the Jets and Giants play this coming Saturday. You know, they play each other. But during the week, starting Tuesday, I think Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday, they're going to have joint practices against each other. So you get to hit someone that you're not familiar with. Is that going to be enough for you? Are these joint practices helping your regulars out that don't play in preseason games? Because you do have referees there, and they are calling penalties and throwing flags. So you're simulating a game, except for you're not hitting the quarterback. But y'all getting in some scuffles. You get in some, you're in the trenches. You're going against someone else that you don't know. So this is good for you. 2 practices. You get to really feel what's going on, but still control. You're going to say, we're doing a goal line. We're doing 2-minute drill. You know, it's just, you got situations that you're doing, not playing the game, seeing how it ebbs and flows during these practices. But we will see. Let's see how preseason keep on going. Week 1, it's in the books. Week 2, let's see how your team does. Will more starters play or will they sit? We will see. Also, like I told you, I've been bigging up.
Zone. It's scooped up on the 4 by Dortch. A flag comes soaring in as Dortch is taken down short of the 25-yard line.
Negative plays. Number 1, you see the penalty. But number 2, that ball getting touched out. Rashard Smith, rookie out of SMU, he recovers the ball, but Greg Dortch has to do a better job of keeping.
Mahomes, back shoulder throw.
Touchdown.
Beautiful adjustment by Jason Brownlee to pull that in with Max Melton, second-year player out of Rutgers, in coverage.